So that means
So
that
I could come to an event like this. I could say I identify as a 13-year-old girl and I swim with the 13-year-old girls.
we base on Swimming Canada registrations. So if the swimmer registered in Swimming Canada registration as a female, she will be eligible to come down to actually swim in this heat.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Markham, Ontario, and I'm at the Markham Pan Am Centre. This is host to a swimming competition. And here's the deal, folks. We were tipped off by some concerned parents that a travesty was occurring in the swimming pool. And to quote the old Sesame Street song, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things does not belong. Which is to say that all of the swimming races here at the Richmond Hill Aquatic Center's Fall Classic, they are segregated by sex and age, except for one. On Friday, a race took place in which there were 10 participants. 9 of the participants were teenage girls. They were either 13 or 14. And one participant, if you can imagine, was a male, age 50. That's right, a 50-year-old male competing against teenage girls. Now, the name of this person is Nicholas Sapita. He goes by his alias these days, and that would be Melody Wiseheart. And the very idea that a 50-year-old male is competing against teenage girls, it goes beyond parody. That's why my cameraman Efren and I have come to the Pan Am Centre. We want to find out why this travesty is being allowed. What does the Richmond Hill Aquatic Centre have to say about it? What does the governing body, Swim Ontario, have to say about this? And even Nicholas's own club, the Orangeville Otters. We're going to go in, try to find out if we can find anyone in charge to explain how this latest slice of transanity in the pool is being allowed in the first place. And we're just doing a report on the competition, and we understand from concerned parents. Oh, okay.
I don't know exactly what's the purpose of this. That's why I'm trying.
I'll tell you, sir. We were tipped off by concerned parents of swimmers that a 50-year-old man got to compete against teenage girls at a Friday event. We're just wondering, how does a 50-year-old male get to compete with teenage girls?
Well, it's not actually, I don't think that it happened because I'm actually the competition coordinator for this meet. I do not recall there's a 50-year-old man swimming in here on the Friday competing with little kids. The registration of a swimmer, it's based in Swimming Ontario and Swimming Canada system. Okay. So when we actually run a meet, we're validating the registration of the swimmer, making sure that they're registered, and also their time for the swim.
Okay.
So what happened is that when we accept those swim entries, that's what we do. It's all going through a system running by Swimming Canada. So what happened is that, yes, it's my mistake. We did actually, indeed, there was someone actually swimming on that. Okay. However,
that would be Melody, right?
Well, I don't know exactly because I wasn't present. So
there's no name on that list? Or?
Yes, there's a name in here. That's why I'm saying I'm validating whatever the sheet that you have is correct.
Okay.
However, the meet was open age sections. Okay. So what happened is that session is actually allow any age swimmer. I don't get into with me on age because it's all based on what Swimming Canada's registration.
Okay. But Mr. Chan, what I don't understand is that 9 out of the 10 participants were female and either 13 or 14, and the 10th participant was a male, 50 years of age.
Okay, so as I said, don't talk about gender for me because I do not know, because the registration, whatever they enter, this is a 13 years old girl.
Yes.
So the registration in Swimming Canada, as I say, when the entries comes in, we're validating, we only have a girl and male event. So what happened is that whatever registration in Swimming Canada for that swimmer, whatever gender, it goes into whichever event.
Okay.
Girls, and so that means
So
that
I could come to an event like this. I could say I identify as a 13-year-old girl and I swim with the 13-year-old girls.
we base on Swimming Canada registrations. So if the swimmer registered in Swimming Canada registration as a female, she will be eligible to come down to actually swim in this heat. Now, obviously, if you actually jumped up with a man with all the girls, that will be a question for us,
Okay.
right? But on the other hand, in terms of accepting the swimmer into the meet, that's what we base on.
Okay. Well, Mr. Chen, if you can get that Swimming Canada person for...
I'm actually trying to get that. So just wait for him.
Okay,
Call with him.
right.
So he's more than happy to actually talk with you guys on Monday.
Oh, on Monday. Okay, and that's Dean Bowles. He's the CEO of Swim Ontario.
Yes.
What about the fella with Swim
He's
Canada?
actually officiating. I can't actually pull him out. Sorry.
Would he want us to come back
No.
later? No.
Talk
He
with
will
Dean,
not talk to
because
us.
I actually pull him. He has to go back. But on the other hand, the three of us are on the phone
Okay.
with Dean.
Okay.
And then Dean is actually happy to actually talk with you guys on Monday.
Is Dean available right now? Because we have a...
No.
We might have to do a follow-up
We
story.
actually interrupt him at the middle of something. This is a Sunday afternoon, right? Keep that in
Oh,
mind.
okay.
So
then.
go-
So he's not on site then, right? Okay
No,
then.
no. Okay, so talk
Okay.
with actually Dean on Monday.
Well, there you have it, folks. We did try to get their side of the story. That would be Swim Ontario and Swim Canada. The Swim Ontario official, I guess it's a day off for him. The Swim Canada official, according to Mr. Chan, he doesn't want to come on camera. He's much too busy even after the event is over. So we will reach out for a follow-up story in the days ahead. Now, we don't have any video of Nicholas/Melody in the pool. However, we do have a clip of this person. If you can imagine, he's a professor at York University, and he was recently at the McMaster Symposium on Cognition, Learning, and Education. Here, check it out.
I'm going to start off the talk with a little secret. My secret that I actually do tell my undergrads, thankfully fourth-year undergrads, so they don't realize this early in their career. Maxing or cramming for an exam actually works really well, and in many cases, cramming for an exam is better than spacing. And so I want you to take that little message right there and think about this and what implications it has for you as a teacher. So what do you need to do with your course that might help you to design the course in a way that will actually maximize long-term retention? This is assuming that you as a teacher actually cares about long-term retention. So what can you do to make long-term retention the priority of what happens in the course? Because really it's up to you as the teachers to make that difference.
Indeed. Now, here's the thing. In addition to being a professor at York University, two of his research areas are children and youth. Oh, and by the way, the swim club Nicholas belongs to, that would be the Orangeville Otters, they have had some media coverage going back to last February. Oh, nothing to do with Nicholas/Melody competing with teenage girls. Rather, it was a lifestyle piece. Will you hear some of this putrid prose that was published in the Caledon Enterprise earlier this year? Quote, "They are now pioneers, members of a generation working against stereotypes and stigmas, facing questions and public scrutiny, and telling a story they are forced to tell, to educate, to pacify, to explain, to help others grow, and the world to evolve," end quote. Wow, can you believe that? And absolutely no mention how much Nicholas charges to haunt a house. Anyways, I think what we found out today was two things. You know, they say it's not necessarily the crime, but the cover-up. I think it's both in this case. The very fact that a 50-year-old biological male was allowed to swim with teenage girls is completely offside. And you saw at the beginning, maybe cover up is too harsh a word, but we were told emphatically, oh, there's no way a 50-year-old man was swimming with girls on Friday and later. Well, we were factually bulletproof on that. Folks, we're not going to let this sit. We're going to do follow-up stories. We're going to reach out to the regulatory authorities at Swim Canada and Swim Ontario. But then again, maybe like the rugby people here, they're going to not respond. And we're going to try to get Nicholas on the record as well. Maybe we'll show up at a future swim meet, see who this man is competing with then. What an absolute disgrace in the pool. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Well, folks, when it comes to this latest episode of Transanity, don't expect the mainstream media to be covering this. It's either too much of a third rail issue, or actually they applaud such inclusion. That's why we need your help to tell the other side of the story. Please go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you can kindly make a donation, we would greatly appreciate that.